Alright guys, today what we're working on is a 2006 Scion XB, and what we're dealing with today is the dreaded squeal that comes from the salt air not being tight enough. So what I found was this thing here. A guy named Randall West makes these, and he sells them in a group called First Gen Scion XBs, and you can pick this up. It's $100, and basically what it does is the stock alternator, it doesn't really have a tensioner. You have to pry against this, and it's kind of hard to get this tight. What you do is you put a bolt in here, you pry against the alternator to tighten it up. But what this does is this holds constant tension on the belt. So even if this would loosen up, it can't go anywhere because this right here will keep it tight. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the install video of how you put it on, and I'm also going to replace the VVT solenoid while I'm in here, because to get to that you got to take this bracket off anyway. So I'm gonna do it in real time and show you guys how I do it. And when I got this thing, the only thing I did was I give it a quick coat of paint. This is 13 millimeter, and I don't remember what size this is. So to take this bracket off, it's 12 millimeter, so I just got, an automatic ratchet with an extension. I've already pre-broke these loose before I started the video. Off. So this is your original. You can see here, and this is one he makes. So here you can see the differences. It's basically a good copy of it, and then it'll still slide. And then this right here, this is what pulls tension on it and keeps it nice and tight from sliding. So now we're just gonna get rid of that factory one. I'm gonna put this off to the side for just a sec. Like I said, I'm gonna replace the VVT solenoid, so this may help with that if you're needing to do that job as well. So the VVT solenoid is right here. To get it off, you push this button and it slides off. Mine was not wanting to come off, so I took this little hook tool, I went to the back part, and I just lifted that up just like that, and I popped up the back, and now it'll slide off. That's all there is to that. And then to get it off, pretty sure it's a 10 millimeter, and
what I did was
Alright, so just get it on there. Oh, it wasn't bad at all. Like I said, it's just a 10 millimeter. So you pop that out. Try not to lose your nut or your bolt. But the good part is the new one actually comes with it. Comes with a new bolt. And this is the new one I got. It's a Dorman. It says when you do this, you also need to do an oil change, or you might still have issues. So this right here, this is how it came. So it's the new solenoid, and it comes with the new bolt. Set that right there. So now, sometimes I heard these can be tricky to get out. So I'm just kind of going to wiggle it back and forth a little bit. And it looks like I might get lucky. No. It's got a rubber seal, and I imagine that's what's holding it. It's like a little O-ring, and it just kind of gives it that super tight seal. So that's probably what I'm dealing with. This is a 20-year-old car. Okay, there we go. Yep. Oh no. Okay, that's not good. Oh shit. Well, to be continued. I guess I'll try to see if I can grab that rim. Okay, there we go. Success. See? So now we're going to throw the new one in. So here's the new one, and from what I read online, this says it's a good idea to put some oil right here, so when we go in, it's not. All right, so I just went and got some fresh oil and put on there. So now we're going to slide her back in. On the VVT solenoid, now we're going to tighten it up. Again, it's a 10 millimeter, and we're going to tighten it to 66 inch-pounds.
We're going to move on to installing the alternator bracket.
Alright, now we're going to go ahead and plug that back in, the VVT solenoid. You push in until you hear it click, just like that. And now we're going to install this new bracket I got from Randall West. So you're going to take...
So you're going to line up this back piece, and then you're also going to screw this piece in to the alternator.
Alright, got that started. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw this nut on the back. I'm not going to fully tighten that down yet. So now we're going to come up front to where this thing is. Let me get you a better view. Alright, now we're working on this bracket we got from Randall West. I got this back part on. It's not tight, it's just hand tight. And then we got this bolt that he supplied going into the alternator. So I'll go ahead and hand tighten this up just a little bit more. But before I fully tighten it down, the whole purpose of this is to tighten up this alternator, which essentially tightens up your belt. Since it really doesn't have a tensioner, this is your new tensioner. So what we're going to do is we're going to tighten this up, which will, when we tighten this up, it'll pull this forward, which pulls the alternator forward. And then we'll put this other one on there, and that's just a secondary, like a lock nut, more or less, where it'll make it to where it can't loosen up over time. So, with all of that being said, we'll take our 17 millimeter. Actually, I'll just use my ratchet. Yeah, so we'll go up there, and we'll just start tightening that down. Don't want to get too crazy, because obviously you could way over tighten it if you wanted to, but it's still got quite a bit of slack, so
You want to tighten this up to that one? No, I can't move. Okay, now that's done. We can't forget to tighten up these back bolts. So, this back one that mounts up to the motor, it's actually just a nut, not a bolt, but it needs to be tightened to 112 inch-pounds.
Alright, so now we're going to go to 168 inch-pounds. And it's got to have so much tension just because the alternator can move. Alright, there you go. So now everything is nice and tight, it can't move, and your belt is tight, and there's no possible way it could loosen.
There's no way it could loosen because